Hey guys, welcome. Today this is going to be the stitch pattern we're going to learn, and this is another one that has multi-names. This is labeled the diamond stitch. It's also been known as the diamond lattice or the diamond trellis stitch. And as you know, I work a lot out of the Complete Photo Guide to Crochet, so that is the link for the written pattern for this that I have provided you. And if you choose to follow that one, that is the written part. But that is not this particular way that I did this one. This one, I just worked a different way, as there are so many different ways that you can work this. But the funny part about this particular pattern is there's maybe only one stitch difference, and you can't tell the difference either way you look at it, so that's really no big deal. I think it's just everybody's personal take on this stitch, and it's just one little stitch difference to make it a difference. So no matter if you follow the link below or follow me here or find one online, it's all going to be pretty much the same. So look up, whether you look up diamond cross trellis, which is how it's in Miss Margaret's book, which I strongly encourage you to get, or you look up the diamond trellis, diamond lattice, look up any of them and you are sure to find a written pattern. So this is perfect for a dishcloth, you can develop a hat pattern, an afghan, a scarf, a cowl, anything. Okay, so this is the swatch that I did, and we are going to use just a standard 4-weight and a 5mm hook. And a lot of times I see posts that people don't know the multiples. Well, in this particular one, I did I chained, basically I did 24 chains, and then I did add 2 at the end. So that's how I did, and then I ended up getting a total of 26 that I'm starting off with. So that's your choice, however you choose to get to that point. So I just did it the long way, I guess. So anyway, let's get started. Get your hook and your yarn, and we will start this stitch. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is chain 26. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26. Alright, so that's going to be the first thing we do. Now, one important fact about building these diamonds is we're always going to add 3 rows of single crochet in between. That way, that is our foundation as we build our diamonds. If you see in between here, you see that there's going to be 3 rows of single crochet. And I will instruct you to do that, and you will see when that's appropriate. Okay, so now what we're just going to do is we're going to start off building those 3 rows. So what I need you to do is to single crochet in the second from the hook, and then work a single crochet in each stitch across. And this is going to be your first row. Okay, so we have to build that foundation. The reason behind that is because for 90% of the diamond stitch, and that's what I'm going to call it, it's worked in front post triple crochets. So I am advising that if you are not familiar with working post stitches, let alone front post triple crochet stitches, please go to my instructional tutorials for that before attempting this, because most of this pattern is worked in that manner, and it's important that you do know the structure of that particular stitch. Otherwise it will be a little bit difficult for you to understand how to do this. Okay, so we're going to get to the end here, and this is going to count as one of 3 of our single crochet rows. So we have to build up that foundation before we can start building our diamonds. So now you're going to turn, chain up 1, and now you're going to build that second row. Okay, so go ahead and build your second row of single crochet. So work that all the way across, and now I'm going to finish my row off camera. And once you get to the end of this row, you're going to chain 1 and go and single crochet your third row. And I'm going to do that off camera, and I will meet you back up once all 3 of my rows of single crochet are complete. Finish up your 3 single crochet rows and I'll meet you back. Alright, so now I have my 3 rows of single crochet. Now we're going to start our first section of our diamonds. So you want to chain up 1 and single crochet into the same stitch, single crochet in the next stitch. Alright, so I'm going to do something I don't usually do with this stitch pattern, is I'm going to use a stitch marker here, and you can do the same this time. I'm going to help you out here. So right now we're going to ignore that. Now we're going to start working on this very bottom row here to start forming our first 2 legs. So we're going to work around the first post of that first single crochet to make our first triple crochet, front post triple crochet. So let's yarn over twice, and you want to go all the way down to that row and make our front post triple crochet. Okay, so that's our first one. Now you're going to skip the next 4 on this bottom row. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to make our second leg and go around the post of that 5th one. Alright, and make that front post triple crochet. And now you have the bottom part of our first diamond. Now what we're going to do next, and the reason that I marked this is because it gets a little hard to see if you're first timer at doing this stitch. So we single crocheted in the first 2, so those are complete. Now what you're going to do is you're going to skip the next 2 unworked single crochet. So this marker helps you out a little bit. So 1, 2, you want to skip those. But now you want to single crochet in the next 4. Okay, so skip 1, 2, and then you want to single crochet in the next 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and you can use your marker if it helps you. There's nothing wrong with having to do that. Alright, so now what you want to do is start making the second part, or not the second part, but the second bottom of the next diamond. So now we're going to start building that first leg. You want to work in that next, around that next post on the bottom row. So let's do our first front post triple crochet. So let's build that there. Now you want to skip the next 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and work a front post triple around that 5th one. And when you do this here, these last 2, you want to, and especially the last one, you want to try to keep these together when you pull that last one through, so you don't have a great big gap open in there. Alright, so again, you want to fold that down. You want to skip those first 2 single crochet and single crochet 4 in a row. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, so that's our second one, and that's what you should have so far. Now we're just going to repeat that. So working on our baseline here again, you're going to work around the very next post next to the last one completed. So yarn over twice and work your next front post triple. Pulling through 3 times. And now skip 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And work your next leg around that 5th one. And try to make sure that you pull that last one pretty tight so that you don't have all of that loop left there, because it can get quite open if you allow that. Okay, so again, fold that down, find those 2 stitches to skip. Whoops, sorry, I was out of the camera. So you did your 4, which was 1, 2, 3, 4, so you want to skip 1, 2, and then you're going to single crochet in the next 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, so now let's build this last one. So you want to go back down on the base row for your next front post triple and go around the next post on that line. Okay, now skip 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's going to bring you to that last stitch and go around the post. Okay, and now you're going to skip 2 here, 1, 2, and now you're only going to have 3 single crochet in a row at the end, okay, not 4 at the end. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and that is what, let me back it up just a bit for you. You can see the whole thing. And this is what you're going to have to start with. That is going to be your foundation row and your beginning row. Alright, so we will join together and make our second row. Okay, so let me add this now. First of all, this is not actually our second row. This would be our second row of making our diamond part. This is actually going to be our 5th row. So either way, you understand my meaning behind that. So now here comes into play where we're going to be doing our 3 rows of single crochet in between. So in between each segment we will need to do this. So you're just going to chain up 1 now, and you're going to single crochet in each stitch across, and you want to maintain your stitch count, and in this case with the number that we're using you want to make sure that you have 25 stitches because when we started off in the second from the hook, so that takes away 1 stitch. So that means you need to have 25 stitches. So we are going to work on this row, going across and just simply single crocheting, and make sure that you hit every stitch. It's very important. You don't want to go without any stitch. And again, as you've seen working just that row, this is quite an impressive stitch pattern. It takes a little time. If you're going to do a full project in this, be prepared to spend a little time on this one. It would be a very lengthy process. Even for me, as quick as I go through projects and with my speed, I feel like if I were to choose to do a project with this would take me a while to do. I've seen some projects made with this one where it's used with multicolors and very beautiful. But with the texture and the design set up, it's very unique stitch. And again, as I said at the start of the tutorial, you should not have a problem finding any kind of instructions for this one. And I do know that there are some patterns on Red Heart and Yarn Inspirations using this particular stitch pattern. Okay, so we are on row 2 of our 3 single crochet. I don't want to confuse you by how I'm numbering the rows, but with this particular stitch pattern it just works out better to number them a little differently so you're understanding the concept. So this is row 3 of our single crochet row. And this particular stitch pattern actually consists of 11 rows, and then you start going back and repeating everything. But to get the actual commersing pattern, you have to complete the first 11 rows, and then you go back and repeat 11 rows again, and then you go back and repeat them again. So, alright, so I've got my 3 more single crochet rows. Alright, so now we are ready to start working on our next bottom part of our actual full diamonds. This here was actually a half of a diamond body, and we are now going to build a full diamond. So we're going to work on the next bottom part of a diamond, and then the next section will actually be the top, and you will see what I mean more as I go. So now that we have our 3 rows of single crochet, we are going to do a chain 1 here, and we will we're not going to single crochet there, but we're going to work a front post triple crochet on our 3rd row. You want to count over 3 posts, so 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to work your first front post triple. Okay, and now you're going to work those single crochet. So you want to fold that down, you're going to skip that first one right there, and then you're going to work 4 in a row. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, and now back down on your 3rd row, you want to go around the post of that next available single crochet. Make your front post triple crochet. Okay, and that's what you're gonna, it's gonna kind of give you an X look for the time being. Alright, and now you're going to skip 4 on your 3rd row here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're going to work your front post triple around that next post. Okay, and now you want to fold this down, and you are going to skip 2 single crochet unworked, and then you want to work 4 single crochet in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now back down here on our 3rd row, you want to work the next leg around the next available post and work that front post triple crochet. And then this is just what we're going to be repeating across this row. So see, you have the second looking X, which again, like I said, this right here is the bottom of our first full section of diamonds, and you will see that here shortly. So now let's count over 1, 2, 3, 4, and then around that 5th one we're going to work our front post triple. Alright, and now you want to fold that down, you want to skip 2 singles, and then you're going to single crochet in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now work your next leg here around this next available post on row 3. Okay, now back down on row 3, skip 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now let's work around that next post again. Okay, fold that down, skip 2, and single crochet in 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now go back down for our last front post triple on this row. And now you're going to skip the next stitch and single crochet in that last stitch. And that's the completion of that particular row. And we'll be back for the next row. Okay, so let's turn now, and now we are now working again 3 rows of single crochet. So we have to build up our base again. So you just want to again main 25 stitches, and when you do this first row, count them and make sure you do have 25 stitches, because where we're making these front post triples, it can get a little tricky. Some of the stitches are a little tight or maybe together a little bit more, and you may actually skip one of those. I know I did it a couple of times. So just make sure that your stitch count's correct. And get to the end of the row, chain up 1 and single crochet in each row across. And remember, we only want 3 rows. Okay, so that was 1, and chain 1, and now we're going to go back across. So I will meet you up at the end of the next row. Alright, so now we have completed another set of 3 rows of single crochet. So basically we have repeated all of these rows, and this is a total of 11 rows at this point. So this is pretty much your pattern. The only thing that you're not seeing is a completed diamond, which you are seeing them right here in the middle, okay, but you're just not seeing them here on the ends. But you are seeing 3 here in the center. You're seeing 3 completed diamonds here, but at the end of the day you're also seeing X's, only because you've got this bottom row right here that we did, which is pretty much, if you look, these are just the tops of a diamond. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are going to put tops on this part of the diamond. Alright, so now to do that we had to build our 3 rows of single crochet. So now we're going to go back and repeat this row, which was pretty much row 4, and we're going to repeat that row and make the tops on these diamonds. And you'll see more or less what I'm referring to once it gets built. So what you want to do now, you want to chain 1 and single crochet in the first 2. So we're just repeating now. So what we did here on this row is what we're going to do on this row. So what you want to do is do our first triple crochet into this first, or around this first post on our first single crochet row. So you want to go around that post and work the first triple crochet, front post triple crochet. Okay, and that's going to actually line up over the top of that one as well. And now you want to skip 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're going to put the next one around that 5th one, just like before. So 1 and 2 and 3, pull that through. Alright, so now you're seeing a diamond right there. Alright, so now what you're going to do is, again, you had those 2 single crochet. You want to skip those next unworked 2 of them, and then you're going to single crochet in the next 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, now go back down to that next unworked post of that row and work your next post. Okay, you want to skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and work your next post around that next post. So we've already done this. Okay, and now you want to fold that down. You want to skip your next excuse me, 2 single crochet and do 4 single crochet in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, and now to make the second leg of this, you want to go down into the next unworked post beside this one we just did and work your next front post triple crochet. Just like that. Now you want to skip 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Work your next one around the next post. Alright. And now you're going to skip your next 2 single crochet here. 1, 2. And then work your 4 singles. 1, 2, 3, 4. And go back down to our row here, and in that around that next post work your next front post triple. Whoops, it's a little bit difficult to hold on to those loops there at that angle. Alright, so now count over 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and around that 5th one work that last, work around that last one there. Alright, now fold that down and count over 2. Skip those 2, and remember here on this end you're only going to have 3 singles. So 1, 2, and 3. And there you go. That is the finished product. And now you're seeing all diamonds. Okay? The only part now is at the same time you finish these diamonds, you have started the bottom part of the next diamond row. So you see how that's working. So the only part here at the beginning is you had just the half diamond, which we can't do anything about that. That's just part of the pattern. So whenever you go up to your next rows, which will be 3 rows of single crochet now, and then you will make the next part of the diamond, which will be the top part of the diamond. So it's just a repetitive pattern, and it just keeps on going just like this piece here. And that's pretty much all there is to it. You just got to remember to do those rows of single crochet in between. That way you have something to build off of. Okay? And just keep going with this same repetitive pattern. You will just repeat those same rows over and over until you get to your desired length and width of your pattern. So I hope you guys got a great understanding of the diamond stitch, which is how I labeled my pattern. And again, thanks to Miss Margaret and her book, The Complete Photo Guide to Crochet, for giving a written pattern for this, which is again a little bit different than this instruction, but if you have her book or intend to get it, you will see the slight difference compared to the one that I gave. So until next time, guys, hope you enjoyed this pattern, and don't forget to like the video for me, and see you on the next video. Happy hooking!